Pinnacle. First, that's a yeah. Next slide. So that's my grandfather. He was a county judge in Pinellas County, uh, very well respected. That's him in front of the sign for Jack F. White Stadium. It was named after him. So, and that's the high school I went to. And I went to a reunion, and people actually didn't know that 50 years later that was is named after him. Thanks. Um, Noel and I have been married 33 years. It was a big step to start working together because, how is that going to work out? I don't know how many of you get to work with your spouses, but it's actually been wonderful. There's a lot of days that we come home from work and we just say, how was your day? Because we haven't had a chance to talk. Next. We like to travel. That's actually the looking out of the window of our room on the Norwegian Cruise Line ship at the glacier. It looks like a painting in front of, and that one is. I'm going to ask Steve Straub if he recognizes that garden, because he might. Next. Kids, that's my daughter Natalie. She volunteers at Suncoast Seabird Sanctuary, and that's her pet, Vulture. Um, so, and next, that's my son James in his glory days as the star pitcher at Clearwater High, their 2020 season. That's our pets, Pepper and Pickles. Next one's going to be named Olive, I guess. So we'll have a relish tray. Next. That's me back in the day. When Robbie was dancing, I was playing guitar. And next. And that's later. That's what I do now. It's just one guitar, no band. Next. Okay, so how do we help people? We have two big areas in our office. One is estate planning, and we use a variety of vehicles for doing that. We use wills, trusts. We help people plan for problems in the future with durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, and living wills. And the other tool we use is deeds. And that's what I did yesterday. It was actually a couple whose last name was Ringo, and no relation. They said, that guy? No. so anyway, and they were going out of the country. They called the day before and said, we're going out of the country. We've got a piece of property that's just in the wife's name. Help us, because we don't want to go out of the country and have this end up with my kids. I'm having a problem with them. So I was able to put the property in both their names in one day. So that took care of their problem. The other big thing we do is probate administration. That's when someone passes away and the person who's passed away has property and it needs to be distributed to the heirs, whether it's through a will, trust, or with, if they have no will, we still, there's laws that allow us to take care of that. We use two forms, basic forms for probate administration, formal and summary. And the third thing we do is trust administration. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff we do. Let me pull up the next slide. Why use us? Well, between Noel and I, we have 60 years of experience practicing law together. And like I said, it was a big step to start working together, but it turns out we actually are a really good team. I mean, we really work well together and we help each other solve problems. One of the things I do in the firm that I brought to the firm was litigation experience. It allows us to handle disputed matters where there's a will contest, a beneficiary disagreement, a trust administration problem. I can do that, but Noel has more knowledge in that area. But she always has my back for those kind of things. And when she's trying to solve problems where there's disputes, that's where I have her back. So we work really well together. So let's talk about it. The other reason is with that experience, can I have the next slide? Okay, so these are going to be hard to see from here. We have two wills here that were done by an attorney back in the 80s. And they're very simple, and you can tell this is before word processing. Well, you can't really read it, but if you go to the next slide, let's have a closer look at it. These are the signature lines. What we have here is this is the wife's will. Okay, so she's got two witnesses. That's the attorney, that's his assistant. Okay, I don't know what happened, but somewhere Somehow, when the husband got through signing his, the attorney forgot to put his name as a witness. That will is invalid. Okay. Luckily, it was a no harm, no foul because the husband died first, and under Florida law, without a will, everything went to his surviving spouse. But that's the kind of mistakes that when we have a signing, it's usually Noel and I in there, both of us. So we're not going to make that kind of mistake. Okay. Next slide. Uh, this is a case I have going on right now. I blacked out most of the names. If this is a homemade will, okay, these almost always turn into problems. You go to the next slide. This is what they tried to do. Is my intention is to transfer the estate address 298 Winchester, Palm Harbor, to my girlfriend. I bequeath my properties to my girlfriend, including real estate, property. I give everything to her. However, I have a contract to provide separate from my will and to my children, Michael and Jennifer, as follows. When my girlfriend sells the above listed property to a third party, excluding refinance and or second mortgage, or 60 days after her 62nd birthday, whichever comes first, she will distribute to Michael and Jennifer $20,000. The problem with this is there's no $20,000 for that to come from. You can't impose a contractual something on, so you can only distribute your own property with will. And that's the kind of things that problems will help you avoid by coming to us. Thank you very much.